Hello, gluten-free friends. Welcome to the first ever episode of the Gluten Free Food Tour series that I am starting on my YouTube channel. The goal of this series is to highlight small businesses that support the gluten-free community, either being by completely gluten-free themselves or offering safe options. Today we are at the Coffee Hub, which is a coffee shop and bakery within Beavercreek, Ohio, and they are in partnership with a local gluten-free bakery called Purely Sweet Bakery. While Purely Sweet provides a lot of the baked goods that are available at this location, all of the coffee drinks are also completely gluten-free. The entire shop, you can have whatever you want and it's all safe. One of the best things about this location is that they have a few savory options as well. I love gluten-free baked goods, but sometimes in the morning, I don't necessarily want something overly sweet. I am a savory breakfast person, and so I very much appreciate that you're able to get savory options here. So today I got one type of their quiche and one breakfast sandwich to try with you guys, along with a latte, of course. I needed a little drink. My go-to order at most places is just a decaf iced latte. Sometimes caffeine makes me feel a little too jittery, and I got here a little bit later in the morning, and so I don't want to be up tonight. I know that that sounds so silly because it's still in the morning, but if I drink caffeine too late, I'm up literally all night. Let's try our little latte. Yeah, that's really good. I like it. It's not too overly sweet. The espresso isn't overly strong. It's a pretty balanced iced latte. I would get it again. It's my go-to order, so I like it a lot. So first up, I want to try the quiche. Even when I first opened this, the smell of like the herby cheesiness is immediately wafting out, and it smells amazing. I had a very light breakfast this morning before coming here because it is a little bit of a drive from me. But this immediately is making me so hungry. Like I said, I love savory breakfast, and so being able to get a slice of this is absolutely perfect. One thing that I do want to comment on is just the size of the portions that they give you here. I often find that when I do get gluten-free options, sometimes the portion sizes can be a little measly. They can be kind of small for the price that you're paying. But every time I come here, I always leave like very full and satisfied because they give you an actual piece. They give you an actual breakfast sandwich. It's big, it's meaty, it's delicious. So let's dive in and try this quiche. Immediately, the very edge piece has this massive and juicy sun-dried tomato. I love sun-dried tomatoes. So I'm sure that this mixed with the cheesiness is going to be delicious. Oh my gosh. Wow. After taking those first bites, one of the immediate tastes was the tomato, which was awesome. But another thing that I wasn't really expecting, I've never had this flavor of quiche before. I wasn't expecting how herby this was going to be. The quiche is eggy and it has a lot of cheese in it, which I adore, but it also is spiced so well. Wow, this tastes awesome. So today in Ohio, it is rainy, drizzly, gloom and doom, not the best weather. Having a warm, savory, well-spiced, well-seasoned breakfast like this is making me so cozy and happy. To come here with friends or family, get a coffee, and get a tasty breakfast, this would be perfect for anyone who's gluten-free, who wants to just go out for a little coffee date. The other menu item I got this morning was the sausage, egg, and cheese breakfast sandwich. This is my go-to. Every single time I come to this location, I have to get the sausage, egg, and cheese. Breakfast sandwiches are so beloved in my heart, and finding gluten-free options for breakfast sandwiches that aren't something that you just cook at home for yourself sometimes can be a little difficult. This is one of the few places that I frequent that even offers a breakfast sandwich. One last thing to note before digging into this is how massive this is. Again, with the quiche, they give good sized portions for the quiche, but also the breakfast sandwiches are huge. Like, look at this compared to my head. This is gonna keep me full for quite a while today. So let's take a bite. It's so delicious. Sausage, egg, and cheese is an unbeatable breakfast flavor combination. I love this. They do a great job with the proportions of everything within the sandwich. The egg is big enough that you can taste it, because sometimes egg gets a little overpowered by the other things that can be within the sandwich. The egg is big, it's fluffy, it's well spiced. You can see flecks of pepper in there. The sausage is juicy and tastes pretty strong. I think it might be like a maple breakfast sausage maybe, but when you take a bite, it comes through as well. And that bread, oh, it's absolutely delicious. It doesn't crumble, it doesn't fall apart, it stays together, and you're able to eat the entire sandwich in one go without it just disintegrating in your hands. This is an awesome breakfast option. I mean, this is just perfect. This is literally my definition of a perfect slow morning. And it's something that people with celiac disease might have trouble finding options for. A lot of the times when I feel like making savory breakfast, I have to make it at home, which is beautiful and fun and does, quantify as a slow morning. But some days you just don't want to make your own food. You want to go out. You want to be able to meet a friend or a family member in a place. So having a business that offers those options is so awesome. I absolutely love the coffee hub. I would really recommend that if you're within driving distance of it, that you come and check them out. Whew. I'm quite full, but that was delicious and set me up for a good rest of my day now that I'm feeling nice and nourished. Since I'm in the area, there are a few other places that I wanted to pop around to see what gluten-free options that they might have. I've never been to Dorothy Lane Market. To be honest, I don't frequent Dayton that much, and so I've never been there. But I've heard a lot of cool things. I know that at the end of the day, it is kind of just a grocery store, but maybe they'll have some options that I've never seen before, or sell some small business gluten-free bakery stuff that I'm not familiar with. So I thought maybe could go there and see what they have to offer. So let's go. Hello to the vlog. I'm now inside the Dorothy Lane Market. This is by far the fanciest grocery store I've ever been in. They have a lot of gluten-free options so far, which is very promising. I'm excited. I wasn't really planning on picking anything up in particular, but I don't know that I've ever seen so many brands that usually I really have to hunt for in one place. So I might actually end up picking a bunch of stuff up. Oh my goodness, they have Drizzlicious. In the grocery stores by where I live, it's actually kind of hard to find any of the Drizzlicious flavors. And so far, I think I've only ever had the original. I might try the French toast. I've never had that one before. Let's try them. They're $3.79. That's not too crazy. Oh, they also have a bunch of spices, and I am currently out of almost all of my spices, which is awesome. But these are very fancy. I don't know. I'm too overwhelmed by the spice aisle. It's too fancy. I'm really trying to work on my confidence with filming in public spaces. I think the thing that I struggle with the most is just talking to the camera in front of other people. Well, this is interesting. I've never seen this brand before. They have Ella Bella gluten-free mixes. Also, it looks like these made without grain gluten-free mixes. I've had the Blondie mix before, but I've never tried any of the other ones. They also have Betty Crocker sprinkles, which I need to up my stash of. One of my ice cream shop hacks is that I always bring my own sprinkles with me, because sometimes I'm not sure if sprinkles at the shops have touched the waffle cones or anything, so I think it's just easier to bring your own. But I was running low and they had them here. And the Betty Crocker sprinkles, they also mark on the label gluten-free. So those are my go-to. They're pretty affordable too. Oh, Oh, that's interesting. They have Tapatio ramen. Very much not gluten-free, but interesting to look at. Oh, they do have some pho, some packaged pho that's gluten-free. Oh my gosh, I've never seen this before. It's the brand Phenomenal. Yeah, these are really interesting. I don't know that I'm going to get them today, but it is good to note that they have these here. Ooh, they do also have a good amount of sauces here. I'm trying to think if there's anything that I needed more of. I need more chili crisp. I'm not familiar with this brand, this Food Earth. They have butter chicken, fish curry, coconut curry, vindaloo curry, and tikka masala. And I've never seen this like stamp before, but it says informed gluten-free. But when I looked on the back of the fish curry, it's not processed in like a facility with wheat or gluten, so that's really interesting. Those look tasty. They have a really good selection of Char and Canyon Bakehouse bread here, which is awesome. I don't need any right now, but that's good to know. Okay, I don't know if any of you have ever tried this brand, this Great Lakes potato chips, but they are some of the best potato chips I've ever had. Even their flavor profiles that they have, I feel are really unique. Like they have a buffalo wing chip, but my favorite is the Michigan cherry barbecue chip. I've never had that flavor before, and they do it really well. You can taste the cherry a lot, and you would think cherry with a potato chip? I'm not sure about that, but it's delicious. Okay, I'm seeing this Warped Wings Soda Company, cherry vanilla. Oh my gosh. But I'm confused. Is it just soda or is it like alcohol? I thought Warped Wing was like a brewery. Also, it's packaged like the way the beer would be packaged. Oh my gosh, and it says gluten-free on it. How much is this? $7. And it doesn't have alcohol, does it? It's just soda. I think I might get this cherry vanilla. It's calling my name. Okay, we've made it to the freezer section. I'm really hoping that they have some like freezer options that I don't usually have access to, but I don't know. Something about a really fancy grocery store, I'm just like, oh, I really hope that they have, things that I've never seen before. Ooh. Okay, they do have the Against the Grain pesto pizza. This pizza is one of the best frozen pizzas I've ever had. If you like pesto, you are gonna love this. They have options of the Yeso bars and the Outshine like fruit bars. These Yeso I really enjoy. It's nice to have like an ice cream bar that's safe. And the ones with the crunch are my favorite because crunch bars and like crunch ice cream cones, ugh, I miss those so much. Okay, it looks like I found a little bit. Maybe this is like a gluten-free section. It's a lot of Cats products, a lot of Cats like dessert products. And then towards the bottom, we have some like English muffins, some bagels. I've actually never seen these Against the Grain bagels before. I bet those are tasty. And some baguettes, some rolls, and then the Udi's bread section, which continues on to the next freezer part. So I'm in like the frozen breakfast section, and I've never seen this brand before, the Superb Bakehouse waffles. They have classic home style and Belgian chocolate chip, and those look really tasty. At the top here, they also have the classic like Vans waffles, which I love. It looks like they also have multiple options for gluten-free puff pastry, which is really nice. Usually there's only like one option, but they have the Char and the G-free. I've never tried either of those, but maybe I'll have to try those sometime. Okay, I actually can't believe this. I just recently saw this brand, Ice Cream for Bears, and they have a gluten-free like cookies and cream version. It's called Cubbies and Cream, but they don't use any gluten-containing ingredients, so it's a gluten-free cookies and cream ice cream. I can't believe this. I thought that this was only on the West Coast, but they have it here. Well, I have to try it. That is so exciting. Oh my gosh. just got out of the Dorothy Lane Market, and that was by far the fanciest grocery store I have ever been in. Of course, I've been to places like Whole Foods and things like that, but that was on a completely different level. That grocery store was so beautiful that it felt like I was in a movie set. Also, just the options of food that they had there, especially for a gluten-free diet, were really great. There were so many different brands that usually I have to drive to like 6 different grocery stores to find. So that was a huge, huge bonus. Let's talk about the damage. I ended up spending $36.07, which honestly isn't that crazy considering what my normal grocery bill is. I know that these were all just snacks and fun things, but with all of the brands that they had in there, it could have been a lot worse. So I went with the Warped Wing Cherry Vanilla Soda, some Kewpie Mayo because I had run out, the Drizzlicious Rice Cakes, the Betty Crocker Sprinkles, the Ice Cream for Bears Cookies and Cream, and 2 Hartzler Milks, the like mini sizes that they have. They're so delicious. I love Hartzler so much. Overall, I would say my Dayton Gluten Free Food Tour went pretty amazing. There aren't very many places in Dayton that are dedicated gluten free. I mean, I went to the one that I know of. If anyone else knows of any other ones, please leave it in the comments below. But as for the options at Dorothy Lane, that was pretty wonderful. I would definitely come back here. My third and final stop for the day is the former location of the Neighborhood Nest. They were a completely gluten-free restaurant that had to close their doors on December 31st of 2025. When these small businesses close their doors, it leaves the community who relied on them, the community that supported them, in a little bit of a food desert. I've been going around Dayton, and to my knowledge, there were only 2 dedicated gluten-free restaurants, the Coffee Hub and the Neighborhood Nest. That's really difficult to only leave one remaining business. When you have a food restriction, a food allergy, or a sensitivity, you know how difficult it is to have to make all of your own food, to go grocery shopping for yourself, to prepare meals 3 times a day, 7 days a week is mentally exhausting. The amount of mental space that it takes up in your brain sometimes feels like too much. I know that I personally rely on local small businesses for the days when I just cannot cook for myself, either because I'm too exhausted or I don't have the creativity to come up with another meal. How easy is it for people with no food allergies, people who can eat anything, to just go to a local, even just a fast food restaurant and pick up a burger and not have to worry about it? So local businesses closing is really a shame because it means that the people who relied on them now have to figure something else out. And most of the time, that something else is making food for themselves at home. If you made it all the way to the end of this video, thank you so much for watching. My ultimate goal with this video series is to be able to highlight local small businesses that cater to the gluten-free community so that other people can discover them and support them as well, whether that's through social media or being able to actually go inside and buy some food for themselves. When I was first diagnosed, I personally did not know of any businesses that were completely gluten-free. And over my 12-year journey, it's been an absolute joy to find more and more businesses that I can eat at and go and enjoy with my friends and family. So I really hope that you follow along with my journey of exploring all of the different places around Ohio and beyond. And there are some that I'm really excited to show you. So please stay tuned for the next episode. And thank you so much for watching. Bye.